Welcome back to the shop. We got all kind of stuff going on. My buddy Ray's here. My buddy Chris is here. Ray's got a project on the lathe. Chris and I are doing stuff with big, heavy metal. Arrgh! So stick around. I'm Mike, and you're watching My Car Shop. So as is typical, shifting gears real quick, we're upgrading the 220 circuit over on the wall so that we can run the plasma cutter and also be able to fire the TIG up at 220. So Chris is making a run real quick to get a couple of plugs, and that'll give us, with this umbilical that we have here, that will give us the ability to run a 220 anywhere in the shop to weld and stuff like that, which will come in handy when we're building the chassis table for the race car chassis for the Golden Mullet. I did forget to mention that Duddy's here today also. Okay, so here's what's going on. Ray is working on the piston for his Fairbanks Morse fuel system. We'll talk about that a little bit. Chris is over here tagging up the new breakers and stuff in the circuit box for our 30 amp 220 plug that's right under his elbow that you can't really see. There we go. Let me zoom. And he's also replacing the breaker for the heater because that quit working.
Nice. With this over here, we'll be able to run the umbilical across the shop, so he'll be able to weld anywhere in any corner of the shop. Or I've got the little plasma cutter there that takes 220 as well, so got heavy power to run anywhere in the shop.
And with that in mind, I am over here changing the plugs out on the umbilical, so that's ready to go. And we're also discharging some of our DeWalt's with my handy dandy charger here and getting some new life in some old batteries. Everybody's working here at my car shop. What you need, Ray?
This is not the right 3/8 to use.
Yep, and here we are with the MKS Secret Weapon Super Clean. Remember, if the women don't find you handsome, they can at least find you cleanly.
I'm used to a foot pedal.
I used to use the foot pedal and I hated it. Then I went to this and my welding improved 1,000%. If you want it hooked up, we can do it.
This bugger throws some heat.
I really should take some welding classes.
Or at least get some experience at it.
I know, right? And there we go. With the 220 on the TIG now, we can really weld some high holy stuff. So turned out decent. You know, I'm not the greatest welder in the world, but I don't think that's too bad. And the main thing is it'll hold, so we're not worried about that. So Chris did part of it, I did part of it, and we'll get to London before you. Well, as you can see, the shop is somewhat back to normal. It's the day after, it's actually Sunday, after a couple of days of just crazy work. Ray was here working on the lathe, making a replacement piston for the fuel pump in a 1916 Fairbanks Morse hit and miss engine. He's partially done with that. He ran out of time. We were really late out here last night and still had to have supper and all that stuff. So he just left everything in the lathe, and he's going to come back next weekend and hopefully get that finished up. Chris is headed home as well. The shop is back to normal here. The project that he and I were working on, I'll take you out, show you in a minute. We accomplished a lot. We actually got a generator feed line put in the house that needed to be done. While Chris was here, we did that. And we also got a 220 line out here in the shop now so we can run the TIG. We did that so that we could run his plasma cutter and my TIG welder to put together that big apparatus that I'm going to go show you right now. So this is the apparatus right here. You can see it's a big thing with arms sticking out. This is where we added on 41 inches right here. We needed that TIG welder to crank up to high holy amperage so we could weld this quarter wall square tube. We also welded on these brackets up here because this device will be going right in the center of this opening. We're going to open this up a little bit bigger, but that device will be going right up the wall here, up to that beam up there, and then tagged in the middle here, and of course sitting on these sill plates down below. And we have that winch that's going to be hooked up here to be able to lift heavy objects like engines and file cabinets and all kinds of stuff from downstairs up here to get it out of the way and put it up here in the south end of the warehouse. So that's the opening right there, and all these file cabinets and all of this stuff in here needs to go up there, as well as a large percentage of the stuff that's over here needs to go up there because I want to get this room opened up both for usage as shop and car storage, because eventually, not too long, hopefully we're going to put a door on this and this will expand the shop a little bit more. And yes, all of that racket you can see back there, they're harvesting our corn today. So it's going to be a dusty mess. Yay! Oh yeah, we also cut down some trees this weekend. It's all about spending the day here in the shop, and it was definitely a busy one with multiple projects going on all over the homestead and in the shop. So good stuff. I appreciate you being here, hanging out with us. Chris, I can't express enough how thankful I am for everything you do for me and all the ways that you help move things forward here, not only in the shop, but just around the homestead itself. Ray, it was good to have you here for the day. Yeah, it's good to hang out. So we'll catch you guys on the next one. Appreciate you being here. A lot more coming on these projects, of course, so stick around.
Yep, and here we are with the MKS secret weapon, Super Clean. If the women don't find you handsome, they can at least find you cleanly.
Roar!